My name is Izuru Kautsky. My daughter Kaori Kautsky and I must leave our city, Hiroshima, in China for Vancouver, British Columbia. We are leaving our country because my husband was recruited to build the Canadian Pacific Railway in British Columbia. The letters my husband has written to me describe British Columbia for having giant mountains with lush vegetation. It seems like such a beautiful place.
Kaori Kautsky. I'm 13 years old and I have lived in China for my whole life, but my mother recently told me we were moving to Vancouver, British Columbia in Canada. At first I was not too happy because I did not want to leave my friends and all the memories of my childhood behind. But on the day of, I was excited. I am most excited to see my father, Kosei Kautsky. I have not seen him in 2 years and I miss his loud laugh around the dinner table, the stories he tells me at night, and the way he wraps his arms around me when I'm sad.
I was talking to my father this morning and he said that this move will be the best thing for my family because there's much more money to be made in Canada and the pay wages are way higher than they are here in China.
We have boarded on the biggest boat I've ever seen. As we depart from the land, I can see the land getting farther and farther as I get increasingly scared. Our boat will sail right across the Pacific Ocean all the way to Canada. As the land becomes faint, I am sad that I have to leave my friend behind and my cat Mochi behind. The boat trip to Canada will take about weeks and there are hundreds of people on the boat.
Finally arrived at Canada. The ship docks. Everyone rushes through the exit. But upon arrival, Canada is charging a large amount of money from immigrants from my country for something called head tax. It was $1,000 for me and Kaori together. But immediately after we headed off, the address given by my husband, which I can only assume is our new home.
Today on our way to our new home, we passed by the new school I will be attending, and it seemed like a delightful place, but it is not. I have no friends here, and none of the kids will talk to me because I am Chinese. They do not seem to accept me just because of where I'm from. But I can't wait to get home because my dad will be finished work by the time I get home. I cannot wait to feel his embrace, and I cannot wait to hear all the stories from building the Canadian Pacific Railway.
Someone came to our doorstep today. This white man had a letter in his hand. He handed it to me with 2 Canadian coins. I sat down and began to read the letter. It said, "Dear Izuru Kautsky, unfortunately your husband has died while constructing the Canadian Pacific Railway due to an explosion. Here's 2 Canadian dollars for you and your family. I am so sorry for your loss, Sir George Mackenzie." I broke down into tears. We came here to Canada to live as a family, but now this is not possible. I will no longer be able to see him or laugh with him.
Home from school, I saw my mom crying in the living room. She told me about the sad news about my dad. I was so sad because he was what I was excited for when I pictured my family living in Canada, but now he is gone forever. Because of high taxes, my mom can no longer afford to send me to school, and now we are in grave debt.
Around 1 year has passed and my daughter Kaori and I love it here. Our lives have improved for the better. For example, Kaori used to work after school in dangerous conditions to make a little extra money to help support the family. But now, since of child labor laws and minimum wages, Kaori doesn't have to work. I got a good paying job and now I can support both of us in Canada. Kaori has made many friends and we both have improved for the better.
It is 2020 and the Canadian government has publicly apologized to Chinese Canadians who have suffered under Chinese head tax and announced they are creating calls to action for the Chinese Immigration Act. My grandmother Kaori suffered through that just so the future generation would have a better life. The Canadian government said that the calls to action
Pay the money to those that was taken because of the Chinese head tax. We will establish a national holiday for reconciliation for the Chinese head taxpayers and those who risked their lives to build the Canadian Pacific Railway. We will go to the homes of the Chinese head taxpayers or those who have helped to build the Canadian Pacific Railway and privately apologize to them, their widows, or their children. We will increase funding to big Canadian national public broadcasters to support reconciliation and be properly reflective of the diverse cultures, languages, and perspectives of Chinese Canadians. We will create murals and artwork around the city of Toronto to commemorate the Chinese Canadians and what they have gone through the beauty of art. We created these calls to action for reconciliation and apology, but let us never forget this piece of history, and this racism may never repeat in history again. The country of Canada extends their sincerest apologies, and we recognize that we, in the past, have failed at.
These are the next steps for a better and brighter Canada, and I hope that this piece of vital history is not forgotten or repeated.